Richician!
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 32. Let's kick this off, starting with two questions from Matt and Alison Welch. 1. Since September 2007 is your favourite format, along with it being one of Matt's two favourite formats along with April 06, what are your Express Gaming's and Game Essentials favourite formats? Mine happens to be March 2007 because my Harpy Lady deck won locals 4 times that format. Nice. Express Gaming has two favourites. One was September 2016 and the other one was April 2017. Because that was when they were when Cosmo and True King Dino respectively were big in the meta, much to my annoyance. Although I guess although I'd have thought he would have liked July 2015 up to April 17, because July 15 was when Cosmo first came into the game, and before the September 16 list came into effect, they were at full power. And Game Essentials, well, it wasn't specific. He said Dragon Maids and Ninjas, like when they were seeing lots of play. So I'm assuming that would be like round about the time Dragon Maids came out, which was October 2019, and I guess January 2020, whereas Ninjas I guess we're round about the same time or a bit before, so like I'm trying to think, so September 2018, that's my guess. So basically any time that they were seeing play. 2. Has the current situation going on with Eastern Europe impacted where you are at all? I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to say how involved the UK is in that whole mess. Though me and Emma are kind of worried about what might happen if the UK gets involved. I mean, the whole thing's kind of making me feel stressed and anxious. Just worrying about things getting worse. I mean, I don't want to go too much into it, since I generally try to steer clear of those kinds of topics on my channel. Yeah, I guess that answers that question. Next two questions are from Gunner. 1. Have you seen my Black Rose deck profile? I will place the link here. Yes, I did. I commented on it just the other day, which I'm pretty sure you would have seen, although I guess this question must have been posted like before I watched the video. Yeah, I did watch it. Hope this will help Express Gaming. Hopefully he'll see the comment, or I'll just point it in the direction of him. 2. As I mentioned last week, what are your thoughts about the Crystal Beast structure deck, not the Sacred Beast? That was a mistake on my part. But that's okay, you did mention that beforehand, soon after I posted the last episode. Yeah, I like that Crystal Beasts are getting a structure deck. It does make me wonder what kind of support cards they'll get. Although I imagine it might be difficult fitting it in, because I kind of like Crystal Beasts how they are right now, and I was barely able to figure out what to drop for Rainbow Dragon, the Zenith Crystal Beast, whenever we get it in the TCG. It'll be interesting to see. I think it's really cool that they're getting some love. And the last 4 questions are from Chris Reinhardt. One. So with all these character decks that you brought to the channels, what would your personal character deck look like? I've went with a Light Sworn deck based off the first structure deck I got when I got back into the game. This allows me to use the super rare Stardust Dragon card, first card I got when I got back into the game as the Ace Monster, with a great backup card in Michael the Arc-Light Swan and Judgment Dragon. I feel like mine would be like sort of a mixture between my random All-Stars deck and a 1 copy per card Dark Magician deck, where Dark Magician would still be the Ace Monster. Other than that, I guess that would be it basically. It would be mainly Dark Magician support cards, and I'd have Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning and Darkon Dragon in there as alternative boss monsters to top deck into, which I've wanted to do for a while, and they were a big help in Dark Magician, like before the support came out in Dark Illusion. I don't know about random cards like the Predaplant Engine, Summon Skull and Jinzo. I definitely also play Stardust Dragon, as well as Starving Venom, Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, Utopia the Lightning, Linkarimo, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and all the Dark Magician fusions. Yeah, that's what I'd go with. And of course, Mahard and Dark Magician Go would also be alternative boss monsters. 2. What's your rules on character decks? Do you try to modify them with new cards for each character, or just strictly use the cards they played? I've updated my Jaden and Yusei decks with new cards that help each deck, but I thought I'd ask you to see what you think. Well, usually I try and stick with only cards that they played. What I do is I play as many monsters as that character played and strictly stick with that number. Although I feel like I did kind of break that rule with my Zane character deck, and I do play the same spells and traps that they play, but I just play any number of them because I don't think that matters too much. Those are the rules I'd normally go with, although for some of them I did kind of have to break those rules a little bit. Like, for instance, in my Yusei deck, I play Miracle Synchro Fusion, which is only there to bring out Dragon Knight, Draco and Quist, although that doesn't come out very often. But it is something I like to bring out, as last resort if I'm top decking. But it's an alternative to polymerization and speed fusion, because obviously Yusei doesn't play polymerization, and speed fusion and every other speed spell don't exist as real cards. Like, sure, they do, like on Yugioh Pro, the video games, but they don't exist as physical cards, so I have to make do with an alternative. But I could just swap it out for something else that Yusei played if I wanted to. Like, same with my Joey character deck. I mean, I play Instant Fusion in there, mainly for Flame Swordsman and Guilty of the D-Knight, which does break the rules a bit, because Instant Fusion didn't exist until the GX era. But the reason behind doing that was because it was just as an easier alternative to playing their fusion materials, which would have just clogged up the deck and been potential dead draws. And I kind of didn't want to do that, since I already play enough situational cards as it is. Yeah, and then, of course, like I said, I broke the rules a bit with my Zane character deck by playing multiple copies of Cyber Phoenix, Proto Cyber Dragon, and Cyber Valley. Of course, I will have to double check, but I'm pretty sure he did only play one copy of those cards in his deck. And then, I don't know if I did break any of those rules with my Asta character deck. Although, I guess, if I'm playing all those decks as pass format decks, which is kind of preferable, another broken rule is that I'm playing Dr. D, which was only printed very recently. But I'm making an exception there because it's a card that did exist in the GX anime, which came out during the GX era, obviously. But I think that's acceptable, because I feel like character decks should have their own format in a way. Like past anime format, where cards that existed in the anime at that time can be played, like hence why I play Elemental Hero Neos Knight in my Jaden character deck. For character decks, I think that's acceptable, whereas for proper decks that are past formats, that wouldn't be allowed because they wouldn't have existed in that time, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. And as for my Yugioh character deck, well, it's not a typical character deck that I play. Like, it's current format, and well, it doesn't mostly have cards that Yugioh played. I, like I said, played one copy of every card that I play. There's no 2-ofs or 3-ofs or anything, and it runs Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, which wasn't played in the anime, but again, it's not a typical character deck, although it is plausible that Yugioh would have played it. So I hope that makes sense. 3. With your Joey deck now assembled, how long until we see a Yugi character deck versus Joey character deck? I'm assuming this is a request. I can make that happen at any time. I just need someone who'd be willing to play like either of those character decks and just find them easy to play. So yeah, I will make a note of this request and I'll try and make it happen. 4. Besides the main protagonists, who are some of your favourite characters from the series, or the Yu-Gi-Oh series? Mine would be Raphael, just the desire and love for his guardians were awesome. Then it would be Kite, he was just the best and loved how he gave it all to get number 100. Yeah, there's quite a few characters that I do like that are not the main protagonists. Joey, Kaiba, other favourites from the original series, so are Mahad and Dark Richician Girl, most definitely. I can't. Oh yeah, I'm also a fan of Asta, as in GX Asta, rather than the Arc 5 counterpart. He was cool, even though he was a dick at first. I also do like some of the other rivals, hence why I played their decks. Jack Atlas being another one. I'm also a fan of Kite, as in the Zexal incarnation rather than the Arc 5 incarnation. And it's quite funny because I prefer Kite over Yuma, although I prefer the Utopia archetype over the Galaxy Eyes archetype. Weird how that works. Yugioh I also like as well, and Shay is my favourite Arc 5 character, whereas Raid Raptors are probably my favourite Arc 5 archetype, even though I've kind of got bored of playing them lately. I feel like they've got a bit too competitive for my taste. I mean, I still like playing them in Dark Richician's deck Grand Championship spin-offs, but other than that, they've just kind of got boring to play. I mean, I don't hate them, but I do still like Shay and Raid Raptors. And I've also become a fan of Revolver as well. He's like one of the coolest characters in Vrays, and I like the Rocket archetype, which became my second favourite Vrays archetype, and Borrello Dragon and Borrel Sword Dragon are among my top 10 favourite Link monsters in the entire game. And just the rockets are a great way to bring them out quickly and easily. I think that's everything. Yeah, they're my other favourite characters from all the other series. And that's it for questions in this episode. Thank you very much for your guys' questions. And of course, if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I film these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening UK time, so be sure to get your questions in before then so that you don't miss out. And Express Gaming has also asked me to tell you guys that if you've got any other questions him or Gamer Central, then I'm sure he'll be happy to answer them. Maybe I can include them in an episode, like if they're in a call, or again, they can just tell me their answers beforehand. Like, I had to ask them the favourite format question, like, before filming this. And then, of course, next week Emma will be here. She'll be joining me, like, in person for an episode. Whether or not she'll be up for answering any questions herself, well, I'll leave that up to her. I suppose you could leave questions for her anyway, but obviously if there's anything that she doesn't want to answer, then obviously I'm not going to force her to answer any questions she doesn't want to answer. Depends if she's up for it, really. But regardless, she'll still be in the episode. Anyway, thanks again for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.